Hello my friend, this is Professor MJ, sports betting expert and also university statistics professor. This is going to be a special video where I'm going to tell you a true story about an online sports book that literally tried to rip me off. You won't believe this story. Hopefully, it will also teach you how to deal with these types of situations when they happen to you. And trust me, if you wager online long enough, something like this is likely to occur to you eventually. So, buckle up and be ready to hear this jaw-dropping story about the big bookie trying to bully a small player. Let's do this! Section number 1, the issue. The story began on April 6, 2021, when I bet Jacoby Jones from the Detroit Tigers in Major League Baseball to record under 1.5 total bases. Just to make sure you guys are all following me, here is how total bases work. A single is worth 1 base, a double is worth 2 bases, a triple is worth 3 bases, and a home run is worth 4 bases. Recall that I bet under 1.5 total bases. In other words, I'm hoping for Jacoby Jones to either record 0 or 1 total base, right? The wager in question was placed with the online sportsbook called BETWAY, which has a more than decent B+ rating on sportsbookreview.com. We're not talking about a shady bookie that no one has ever heard about before. On that day, Jones went 0 for 4 at the plate. So clearly this bet was a winner, right? Well, when I logged into my account, it was graded as a loss. At first, I did not worry too much because incorrectly settled bets can happen from time to time. I figured I would just need to spend a few minutes in the live chat and the matter would be resolved. Oh man, I was so naive. Section number 2, the live chat fight. Believe it or not, I spent an hour and a half in the live chat with a guy named Charles from Betway's customer service. Not only did the conversation last forever, but at the end of it all, they still claimed the bet was a loss. Here is what Charles told me, quote, "Our traders have confirmed as there were no bases registered, the bet was correctly settled as a loss, in which the only case your bet could be settled as a win is if Jones registered 1 base only." End of quote. What? Are you kidding me? I told him that 0 is smaller than 1.5, so this bet was a winner. He added, quote, "The premise is that he had to at least get a single base for it to qualify to win. Since there were no bases, it was settled as a loss." End of quote. This makes no sense whatsoever. I asked him, so basically if a player gets 0 base, then people betting under 1.5 bases lose, and people betting over 1.5 also lose. And he said yes. Can you believe this? Also, what if you bet a specific player to record under 0.5 total bases? So you are guaranteed to lose, since in their opinion, there has to be at least 1 base. Again, just ridiculous thinking on their part. And what's funny is that I had bet John Bertie from the Miami Marlins under 1.5 total bases the next day with Betway. He also went 0 for 4 at the plate and they graded it as a win. Now the truth is, this was a small bet. It was far from being a crushing loss to me, but this was just about making things right. Section number 3, the email fight. The conversation in the live chat ended when Charles told me that if I disagreed with the decision, I had to email a manager at manager@betway.com. That's what I did, and here is the response I got from a woman named Candice. Quote, "Thank you for contacting Betway customer care. We received a complaint from you whereby you express your dissatisfaction regarding the settlement of your bet. Upon review of the bet in question, we can confirm that you placed the following bet: Jacoby Jones from Detroit under 1.5 total bases on April 6th. Based on the official results of the match, Jones scored no total bases. Therefore, the bet has been correctly settled as a loss." My gosh! They are completely incompetent. I could not believe this. She admits that Jones got 0 base, and yet she still claims under 1.5 is a loss. Does she not know that 0 is smaller than 1.5? Section number 4, the ultimate fight. In the next step, I tried to hit them hard. I posted my story on Reddit. I also posted it on Twitter. I filed a complaint on sportsbookreview.com, and I filed a complaint with the Malta Gaming Authority, which is the organization that gave them their gambling license. The post on Reddit brought more than 100 comments from outraged sports bettors, all supporting me. I sent the link to Candice, the Betway manager I was in touch with, so that she could see how much her sportsbook was getting bashed. Finally, they graded the bet as a win without any explanations as to why they kept arguing it was a loss in the first place. They also gave me a $10 free bet, which is nothing compared to all the time I wasted on this super simple situation. After that, I immediately withdrew $3,000, and I was worried they would do everything to delay it. But I've got to admit they proceeded to do it very quickly. They probably knew they could not mess up with me. It's time for section number 5, called A Recurring Problem. You might be thinking that this could be an isolated story. After reading all the comments on Reddit, many people have had to fight over incorrectly graded bets with Betway. One sports bettor in particular shared an interesting story. In hockey, he had bet Braden Point over 0.5 power play points. In that game, he got an assist on a power play goal scored by his teammate Victor Hedman. Betway counted it as a loss because they could not understand that a goal and an assist are both recorded as a point. It took the gambler over an hour to get them to figure it out. And the worst part of his story is that he says it happened more than 5 more times in the following months. He needed to ask them to put a note in his account so that the crappy employees would not get confused again. Section number 6, the lessons. In summary, I believe there are 2 lessons to this story. Number 1, stay away from the Betway Sportsbook, because they are either super incompetent or they purposely try to screw their customers. The second lesson is that the most powerful weapon at your disposal against such big organizations is to share your story online. Once they realize their reputation is getting tarnished, they magically figure things out, and it also speeds up the process. I could add a third lesson by saying, don't give up. I know it can be a pain, but don't let them get away with robbery, because that's exactly what it is, robbery. I hope you found this story entertaining and that you got something out of it. If you have a similar story to share, I strongly encourage you to do it in the comments below. Let me hear about sports books that tried to rip you off, what you did about it, and how it ended. I really want to read you, man. Thanks a lot for watching. This is Professor MJ saying so long.